So in my last video, I described, or I briefly mentioned something that I referred to as a Shadow Centurion. And I actually have been, for the past month or so, trying to come up with a design for the Shadow Centurion that I liked. And I finally, just a few days ago, settled on one that I thought was good. And so I finally just got down to speed painting it. And today I am going to be discussing what a Shadow Centurion actually is, because it is something that I have had like in my head for several years, like that I had created a long time ago, but I had never actually like taken the time to try to draw one or anything like that. It's actually based on a Lego thing that I created several years ago, and it was pretty tall. It's about maybe 2.5 feet tall, and it's just a massive robotic looking thing, and I wanted to try to incorporate that into my superhero universe. And so the Shadow Centurions are from the same dimension as the duplicates that I mentioned, or that I focused on last video. And if you didn't watch that one, basically Backwards Earth is like a Earth, but well, backwards. It's pretty much the complete opposite of what Earth is and how Earth is, and the main inhabitants are what are known as duplicates. But there are these rare entities known as Behemoths, I believe I called them, and they're like giant 500 to 700 foot tall, like just Goliath monsters, and they are pretty much benevolent for the most part, and if you provoke them, then they will attack you, but nobody ever provokes them because they're so massive, and nobody wants to get on their bad side. But there is an occasion where the creatures of the Backwards Earth dimension will try to overtake one, and they will very rarely succeed, but when they do succeed, they overtake one and create what is the Shadow Centurion. It's a massive cyborg, pretty much just beast that stands at about, like I said before, 500 to 700 feet tall, and due to the cybernetic enhancements, they have super strength, or at least strength beyond what they previously had as just the normal monster. And then they also have they're a little bit smarter than a normal android would be, let's put it that way, because they used to be a normal creature. They have more instinctual brain power, and can adapt their terrain that they're fighting on better than a normal robot would be able to, which is why the duplicates of Backwards Earth make an attempt to overtake them and create their own robots out of them, rather than just building one from the ground up. And so with the Shadow Centurions, the primary colors that I wanted to use were purple and black. And purple and black is one of my absolute favorite color combinations. Obviously my favorite color is green, but purple and black is a really great combination of colors that I just really like. And so I wanted to incorporate that, because it is purple is kind of the main color of Backwards Earth. And so I wanted to have kind of dark gray, black, and purple all kind of mingled together. And then obviously you can notice there are little lines that I'm leaving out all around the robot, or all around the Centurion here, and those will become lights, and they're kind of just there for aesthetic purposes for me personally. I just kind of like the way they look, but they may be able to serve some sort of purpose in the real world, or in this world at least. And what you see me putting in now is the kind of purple skin color that I imagine the Behemoths actually having, and and the idea is that they're kind of armor clad. They have like armor just placed all over them, possibly even attached to their bodies to the point where they cannot take them off. But that's just kind of, I just wanted that kind of detail of like the purple skin of the Behemoths actually showing through, and kind of relating that they are in fact cyborg and not robotic. And the only bits that I really wanted to actually have exposed like that were the chest, where the power core bit actually is, and I could have probably, now that I'm thinking about it, could have probably added some like burn marks around the chest bit where that power core is, because I imagine that being added in like forced into the chest, something and something along that line. So it would be kind of it would make kind of more sense to have like some damage to the actual like body around that. But you can also see kind of like, I kind of wanted to go for like a rib cage design around the actual body there, but it ended up kind of not looking the way I wanted it to, but I still think it does look really cool, which is kind of why I kept it like that. And so like I was saying before, the only parts that I left exposed were the bits where there would be joints actually needing to move around on the Centurion. So like right in here with the shoulders, elbows, the neck is obviously kept open. The hands are for the most part kept open, other than just a little bit of armor plating and some synthetic claws on there that are just there for like extra damage that they can use to scratch, but most of the time they will punch rather than scratch. But the claws can actually make for a good grasping kind of attack, where they can grab onto something and just squeeze down really hard and probably destroy some stuff along that line. And I also imagine them having their primary weapon be a laser eye. So you can see their eye, the eye, there's only one like eye on the center of their head, and it's blue rather than the normal like pinkish magenta purple that I made the rest of the lights on the body, and that's because it actually shoots like a laser beam that I imagine being pretty destructive. So yeah, that is the primary weapon that I imagine them having. I didn't really want them to have any sort of like missiles or any sort of rockets or anything, because I feel like that wouldn't make sort of the aesthetic of the backwards Earth. I feel like that would make it a little too similar to normal Earth. Obviously, we don't have weaponized lasers yet, at least. So it would be kind of the opposite of what Earth is, to actually have weaponized laser technology. And so anyway, this Shadow Centurion, you can see me adding in the glow effects around the eye and all the rest of the lights now. And I wanted it to make it clear that the backwards Earth dimension has a lot of fog, and so I added in lots of fog-looking things underneath the single eye glowing effect. I wanted to make it seem like that part and that part only was the only thing glowing through the fog, and the rest of the lights were kind of muffled underneath it. And I think that gives a pretty cool look. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about the Shadow Centurion. I really enjoyed creating this design, and I really hope you guys all like it as well. But with that, I will see you in the outro. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Peace. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I have it over here as usual, and yes, this outro bit was recorded on a different day than the main bit that you watched. But yeah, I'm wearing a different hoodie, but that's not really that important. But I really do hope that you enjoyed watching this creation process. I really did enjoy creating it, and I really like how it came out. Obviously, the Centurion is a little bit hard to see with all the fog and clouds and stuff, but I do think that the glowing effects kind of help it to look a little bit better than it would if those were not there. But yeah, I really enjoyed creating this, and I really like how it came out. And yeah, I really hope you all enjoyed, and that's pretty much all I have to say. So subscribe if you haven't, leave a like on the video if you liked it, a dislike if you didn't, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.